Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So we are finally going to be doing a treehouse mani. So for the background, I first, for the bottom portion, just brushed on some Candy Mayo 961. Then I went to the top portion and brushed on some Paparazzi Lakeside Breeze. Then I went to the middle portion and brushed on New Color 912. I worked in that manner because I wanted the lighter tone to kind of, I felt like it would do better if I worked with it over the other two. I then took a sponge and took, first I took the green, tapped it around, then I did the blue, tapped it around, and then the middle portion. Same thing to get it to this look. The sponge does give it some texture, which is fine for me. Also, when I get everything placed, part of it's going to be covered. I wanted it to look, like outside, but I wanted some different tones. And then I also went over it in a clear coat just to kind of get a smooth feel. And also when I was doing the middle portion, the colors kind of got mixed, which is totally fun. It gives it a different um, tone within it to be able to kind of work together, in my opinion. So the plate I am finally going to be working with is this plate from Pretty Fingers by Robin. I believe it is actually called Tree Houses. I will list it in the description box for sure though. So let me get my blue film off. Okay, so it has the larger ones and smaller ones. So if you like this one, you could find this one in the smaller portion. So I'm probably going to work with the smaller ones, I think. So I was looking at the larger ones to decide what I wanted to use. There was one specific one I was looking at earlier. So let me kind of see if I can find them within the little ones and I'll be back. So I like this one and I have found it over here. So because it also has the tree outline, instead of just trying to do separate tones, I'm just going to go to Maniology's Emerald City B514 for the entire pickup. I have actually been reaching for this color a lot lately. And it's very engraved, so that's why I'm placing it on all of it instead of just part of it. Lovely pickup. Okay, and I was looking at it with the nail, and I got that bottom portion off that doesn't belong on there. Um, and I'm happy with the size of it. And I'm gonna leave that on there so I know that I already picked that one up. And I want three of them because two of the nails are not gonna have one. So I think I'm gonna look for this one, which I think is right here across from it. Okay. Another lovely pickup. Okay, I was gonna get this one, but now I'm noticing this one and it has a little birdhouse hanging off of it. That's so cute, and the small one's beside it. So we're gonna do that one. And then I'll get the extras off here in a second. Actually, that could be a lot. I'm not quite sure. It could be whatever you want it to be, really. So I'm just going to quickly mention this plate in particular seems fine. Those picked up just fine. But I know some plates I've heard have maybe like a couple misprints. I have one plate for sure that seems to have some pickup issues. And then I got another that I'm waiting to use for Christmas, and I think it does as well. And they have just come out with a reprint of it, but since I already bought it, I'm not gonna, of course, rebuy it. But this one seems just fine. And just a reminder, if you're not aware, I've tried to really pay attention to taking off my cotton ball when I'm not using it. Now, a lot of times I do wait until the end, but I think I'm done using it. Actually, I'm not. I just remembered one more thing I want to do. But if not, the cotton like gets stuck and then it's like pulls whenever you try to get it off at that point. So try to remember to take your cotton ball off when you are done with your pickups. That way you don't have that issue. Okay, so let's start with this one. And for the tree trunk, I'm going to go to Candy Mayo 941. So because the tree comes down, I'm placing it right here as well. I'm going to try to skip that little walkway area. So I want my tree houses to have a little light in the window. So I'm going to use Paparazzi Butter Him Up. This one's a lighter tone, so it'll just give off a little bit. Okay, and this one, on the little door area, I'm going to go to LA Colors in Maryland because I want a red door for this one. Right, for the roof area, I'm going to go to Sally Hansen Central Bark 616. This one also has a little chimney. That's cute. Sometimes this color's finicky, as mentioned before, so I'm having to tap it to get it to go on there. Okay, for sure, for the platform area of the treehouse, I'm going to go to new color 997. So I'm going to bring this piece across right here. Then I'm kind of trying to decide on these stairs. because that green comes through. Because if I would color in the background for if we want to do the rest of it in a color tone, that'll kind of make up for that. By the way, anytime I say we, I mean you and me. We're on this together, guys. All right, so I had to go pull out another brown tone because I'm trying to not blend the colors too much. Um, and a lot of the ones that are just like I have a separate pile that are just for my nails, but a lot of those are have a metallic finish in my browns. But I do have this one, so that's what we're going to use. This is Sally Hansen Instant Dry in Slick Slate 13193. Just because tree houses are supposed to look at a wood tone. And it's okay to brush over everything in right here because the colors show up on the other side of the stamper. So I am going to attach it to the tree, but I'm kind of looking to see. I'm afraid this is going to be too blended. Thought that color would be okay. So let me look a second. It'll be okay. I'm gonna make that be all right. But I'm trying to think on the stair portion. I think I'm gonna go back to that lighter tone for that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Pulling that light tone back. Also gonna apply this to the bottom portion of this chimney. And then I'm trying to see how far down is that treehouse supposed to come. I don't know if that's supposed to be part of it or because it is supposed to be in the tree, right? I mean, obviously, but it's part of that supposed to be on the ground. Talking about this little portion right there. Right there. Okay, I was looking at the larger image. Yes, that is supposed to be on the ground. But I've got some green out. I'm going to go ahead and start using that. And that is Maybelline Tropic Talks. So I'm going to go ahead and do the little bushes in it first. Leave that space for the treehouse. I'm going to jump to my larger brush for the top portion. Make that go a little quicker. So I've got to get more polish out for it, and I'll go ahead and complete that part, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, and I'll also finish the uh, treehouse area. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do some little lights for this thing. I'm gonna let it be a light instead of a birdhouse. And I'm gonna do the same inside of the windows, which there's not much showing on these windows. Also gonna do the same on this little open piece on the window of the door. Okay, so for this tree, we're gonna go back to new color 997. So I'm missing the stairs for a minute. Concentrating on the branch areas first. Always brace my pinky. That helps me stay a little bit more steady. Okay, so I can see the tree grains behind the stairs. So I'm going to try to go in between each one best I can. Okay, I want to do this one's door with Candy Moyo 928. All right, so let's do this one's roof with LA Colors in Nudie. Did any of you have a tree house or a clay house even? I think that would be so fun. You'd probably actually need to check on your kids if you had one because you could get lost in spending hours in there if you had snacks and games, a whole setup. Also gonna do the platform right here as well. If I had one, I would have been, because it was always my go-to. I'd either be playing house, so I'd be a mom, or I'd be a teacher, or drive-through. I liked to play drive-through. So it'd be like somebody come by the window. Yes, how may I help you? And you could use like Play-Doh for like some pretend food. Fun, simple, innocent times, right? Okay, so for the rest of it, I think I'm gonna use Kenny Mayo 941. So I'm just trying to alternate my browns. I probably need to pick up some other kind of browns as well. But this is what I have for right now. You can see a little bit right here through there. So I think for this one's greenery area, I'm going to go to this color. It is different than my yellow. This one has a green cast, paparazzi brought away. So I think I'm going to mix a little bit of that with, let me see, let me find my other green. No, let me mix it with, let's go ahead and mix it with this one because the other green, that's going to make it way too yellow. So at least we get a little bit of a different tone, but not a whole lot. Hmm, I don't know. Might end up looking a little crazy. Let me get a little bit more of the other green. I think that'll help. Or you could go in and tap a portion of each color throughout, and that'll give it a different tone as well. Okay, so I'll finish and be right back. Okay, I'll look at this one. Okay, I was looking at our next one, trying to figure out what that is. So I was looking at the plate. I think that's a little doghouse. That's cute. Um, these windows don't look like they could be colored in for the light portion. This one also has a chimney. So for this one's door, let's do paparazzi dandelion fuzz. So I've been trying to sort of dip my toes in a little bit of semi-vlogging. Of course, I do like the walk and talk situation, but I've been trying to put a little bit more things in them. Like I've got a couple, and well, I'm working on one currently, but the other one I need to kind of basically put it all together and get that uploaded. I showed like my meal plan and kind of what it looked like completed. So I don't know, friends. Kind of dipping my toes, seeing what I think about it. I'm kind of just doing what I feel like. Like some days, if I just feel like doing a walk and talk, I'm doing that. If I just feel like doing nails, doing that, sometimes I do both. But I have been trying to get into where I'm doing a little bit of extra things as well. Upon thinking about it, the windows have like window panes. I'm gonna go with that same dandelion fuzz color and do that. So at least there's something different for the windows. Okay, I'm going back to Slick Slate just for the tree portion of this one. Okay, there's a little bit of uh, what am I trying to say? Tree limbs. Come down with it. Okay, once again, I'm going to go in the middle. Right, for the treehouse portion, I'm going back to new color 997. Okay, I was looking to kind of see what all's going on here, so I'm just going to go ahead and color in through here. It's okay. Except for that little platform, standing platform. I'm going to not color that part of it in yet. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to jump around because some of the browns are too similar. I'm going to go back to nudie and do the platform and part of the ladder that I can see. The thing with the browns is a lot of them are going to end up kind of blending, but I want the brown tones so that it looks like a treehouse. I'll go ahead and do this part of the fence or the gate or whatever this thing part's called. Go ahead and do the lines for the ladder. Okay, so let's also do part of the not roof, I'm sorry, chimney with that color. Okay, for the roof, I'm going back to Central Bark. Also, if I had a tree house, I would have mine like a little fairy house. That'd be so fun. Everybody would know where to find me. Okay, I'm going back to my red and do my little doghouse. Taking my light yellow to do the top portion of the chimney. And back to Drop It Talks for my tree. Since I mixed the other one, I'm not going to mix this one. Also, on the nails, they've got that darker green at the bottom. So I wanted to use the brighter green, or that's what I call it, for the top area and any other little greens that are in here. So like there's some here. And I feel like this is some over here. Then we get some more. And look at it. Okay. I have decided to matte top coat the nails. Working on one at a time. I'm trying to use that as my sticky base as well. I'm gonna have to time it just right. This one is gonna go on there. I'm gonna kind of move it up just a little bit so we can still have some of that bottom green coming through. Using my stamper to kind of press my image down a bit. Okay, and then I'll move to the next one. Okay, I'm swapping. I was gonna do this one in the middle. Now I'm gonna do this one because the doghouse. I think it's gonna fit better on this one than the other one. Okay, and then this one before I do my other last thing I wanted to do. I'm working on one at a time because if not, it'll be dry and I won't be able to do it on time. So I'm trying to get it to where I can get this light to also fit on here. Again, these were the smaller images, not the large ones. Almost looks like a cartoon style. Okay, so now what I'd really like to do, I've got the other two nails matte, but I've been seeing a lot of, well, not a lot. Well, sometimes it depends on my walks. Lightning bugs. I thought that would be a fun addition. I'm going to use Maniology's plate M373 and use this image right here. It's little bugs. Don't know what kind it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be mosquitoes. They ain't gonna be mosquitoes. I don't like the mosquitoes. So we're gonna make fireflies, lightning bug, whatever you want to call it. And I'm gonna try to use Maniology's Ghoulish B347. This is the color that came to my mind when I was thinking of this. Get my stamper ready and hope it'll turn out right. There goes another cap. I've had 2 caps today that popped off from their top. Okay, let's see. I'll just turn it. Get this piece off of there. Mm, can only lightly see them. So, let me think a second. And I may need to do it twice, not sure yet. Let me hop over to Artichoke B498 and see if that'll give off that vibe better. So both are really pretty colors. It's just hard to see them against my background. They're close to the same. But you know what I'm going for. So I'm going to do that again to this one. And just so you know, I did do it again with both colors because that does seem to give off the best um, shimmer using both. Now, if I didn't tell you what it was, you'd probably be like, what the heck? But since I told you, now we know. And that is going to do it, friends. So we got our tree houses and lightning bugs. So this one's a big tree house. It's like a 2-story tree house. This one's got the little dog house, and this one's got that little lot. Because I was trying to decide which one would I pick. I really love the lot, but I also love me a dog. I like this one too, but to make it an actual treehouse feel, I think I'd pick one of these because they are up out of the off the ground. I think I'd have to pick this one because it's got the dog. Gotta have the dog. I think I'd just add a lot to mine. Again, that could be a birdhouse if you wanted it to be one. You could also just add a couple little birds if you wanted. And I did do it matte. Now, after placing the images, I did not mattify the images themselves. So those do have give off a shine, but that's okay for me. I don't mind that. If I didn't like it, I could just, go ahead and add more top coat, excuse me, more matte top coat just to that as well. But I'm going to leave it. I kind of like that difference. So since we did the different color tones, gives the kind of the background sky feeling, but also like the ground feeling. And then with the tree houses, of course, you don't see them quite as much as you do, of course, on this. But you can still tell there's like a difference between the sky color and the ground color. And then I can see the darker blue up here and the lighter tone in the middle going into the green. So this was super fun. I really hope you enjoyed watching and I greatly appreciate it. And I will list the name of the plate from Pretty Fingers by Robin in the description box, along with listing the Maniology products I used. And until the next one, have a blessed day, friends. Bye.